Let's get it on.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm ready or not, but we're going to get it on. It's Wrestling Observer live 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. And Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. It's Jim Valley.
That's the most exciting type of valley.
The effing king of recovery. Back because of the fans.
Each and every one of you. The largest collection of STD having trailer park trash The Rock has ever seen.
You all fat, neck-bearded, mouth-breathing trolls.
They don't have adrenaline in their soul.
Well, call me Pitbull, the singer, not Ishii, because we are worldwide today, wrestling all over the globe. SmackDown in Barcelona, TNA Sacrifice in El Paso, Texas, New Japan Cup in Nagoya, Stardom Cinderella Tournament Finals at the Oda City Gym, AEW Collision tonight from Las Vegas, Nevada. So we have got wrestling news and results from all over the world. But you and me, we're just stuck right here. So, oh well, we will make the best of it, go through everything. And there's a ton of stuff to cram in. I'm going to give you, unlike SmackDown, which gives you a 2-hour show in 3 hours, I'm going to give you like a 3-hour show in 1 hour. Plus, if we have time, thoughts on Megan Bain. I disagree vehemently with what Dave and Brian said. Thoughts on AEW Revolution. Well, the thoughts on Revolution. If you have some thoughts on that. If we have time, that and so much more. Stand by. We're taking a Concorde through the wrestling world. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
You're clear.
Alrighty. Goodness gracious.
Attention men, here's a great way to have more fun in bed and save money. If you want to take something like Viagra, they can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Yes, $2 a pill.
Saving money in bed seems dangerous to me. You're going to save money in bed, use protection.
For around $100. You'll
wind up with something. Anyway.
That's enough to buy your data.
No, goodness gracious.
Prices for Viagra. Call now or
oh, heavens. If I missed anything, Sacrifice. Yeah, considering the tariffs, that's a pretty good price for wood, isn't it?
800-965-1295. 800-965-1295.
It's a good price.
800-965-1295. That's 800-965-1295. You hear that? That's the sound of uncertainty lurking under your hood. You know the feeling. I know I do. That sudden sinking sensation when you see a check engine light or your car unexpectedly breaks down and you're faced with sky-high repair bills. It's time to shield against unexpected repairs with CarShield. CarShield is America's most trusted auto protection company and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Don't let the fear of a breakdown keep you up at night. Trust the Shield, CarShield, and say goodbye to terrifying repair bills and hello to peace of mind. Your plan also comes with 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental car options, and so much more. Don't wait till it's too late. Call CarShield now before a breakdown. Protect your wallet. Protect your car with CarShield. Get our best protection ever. Call now. You'll thank me later. 800-425-2317. 800-425.
Sorry, I only buy CarShield for Steve Austin or Ice Cube. Or Ice T, I mean, it's Ice T.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. Show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800
God bless America,
887 1097. 800-887-1097.
Mercy on our souls.
800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
It's Jim Valley. Wrestling Observer Live. SmackDown Friday night. WWE starting its European tour. They started out in Barcelona, Spain. Have you been to Barcelona? I've been to Barcelona. Stayed at the Hotel Arts, the Ritz-Carlton. Excuse me why I pick up that name I just dropped. Love the Ramblas. Love to have tapas and sangria in Barcelona. Haven't been there in a long time, though. Well, show opened up with Cody, Carmelo Hayes, Randy Orton and his wife, the Street Profits and DIY, all of them shown individually, arriving at the arena. And it was another hot international crowd. I'll tell you, you know what it reminded me of? You know, they weren't like the loudest crowd. They were very loud, but they've been louder. But still, I mean, no disrespect, they're very loud. But I don't think I've ever seen a crowd that moved as much as the crowd in Barcelona. It reminded me, you know, like in the WWE video games, the crowd is always moving. That's what it reminded me of, a video game crowd. Yeah, someone says, Barcelona, amazing history. It's, yeah, been there loads. Yeah, I love it. All the Gaudi architecture, Sagrada Familia. Sagrada Familia is done, which is amazing. I thought it would not be finished in my lifetime. All right, show opens. Hot crowd. LA Knight comes out. Perfect person to open up the show, I think. You know, he's talking blah, blah, doing the whole shtick. Crowd loves it. Jimmy Uso interrupts, saying, look, Uso, my road to WrestleMania is running short. And he said speed bumps and roadblocks. And he challenges LA Knight for the U.S. title. Well, of course, you know, it wouldn't be the opening of the show if you didn't have, you know, people come out and interrupt. So Solo Sikoa comes out and he interrupts the proceedings, and he doesn't say it, so it's okay for the radio, but he messes up just a little bit. No, I don't seem to have it. Oh, well, no big deal. Anyway, he came this close to dropping the F-bomb, which was pretty funny. But he didn't quite do it. He just got the F out and he caught himself. Anyway, he says if anybody should get a shot at the title, Jacob Fatu should get a title shot. Tamba Tonga did a sneak attack, hits a hanging DDT on Jimmy Uso. The heels put the boots to Jimmy and Knight, and then Braun Strowman to the rescue. Baby faces send the heels running. Nick Aldis comes out, sets up a 6-man tag, which usually this whole thing is a setup for a main event, but no. The 6-man tag is coming up right now. Fun match. Good time. Jimmy Uso hit a tope on Jacob Fatu. Not a very good tope. But Jacob sold it like he'd been shot and jumped onto the announce desk and rolled over onto the floor. Look, they're both great. This whole show, look, long travel, I'm sure, jet lag, but things are going to happen. I don't blame them. Braun pinned Tama Tonga. Fight continues. Jacob Fatu got up. The announcer's like, how could he get up? Keep playing that indestructible theme. Fatu attacked Braun, hit 3 moonsaults to leave Strowman laying. So clearly, they're building up a feud between Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman. Jacob Fatu walks up the aisle, turns around, sees Braun leaning on the barricade. You know which barricade it is. Fatu charges at Strowman, sending him through that same breakaway barricade. They do a recap of Jade's attack on Naomi last week. Hall of Fame video for Triple H. All of his nicknames. How many nicknames does Triple H have or need? Now we're going to call him a Hall of Famer to boot. It took like 5 minutes just to go through all of Triple H's nicknames. Anyway, back from commercial, they do a longer recap of the whole Jade, Naomi, Bianca situation. Pre-recorded interview with Jade. Naomi is pathetic. She doesn't know what Jade's been through, doesn't know what Jade's doing. Jade's not doing anything she's being accused of. Now, they also ask Jade, why didn't she come forward sooner? Jade says all she remembers being attacked, then seeing Naomi running away, and she wanted to handle it in her own personal way. Liv and Raquel walked by, said they got blamed for weeks because of Jade. So next week, Liv Morgan and Jade Cargill. B-Fab did a promo, partially in Spanish. Charlotte pretty much dominated B-Fab. You could see Charlotte leading B-Fab and calling some spots. Little comeback by B-Fab, natural selection, figure 8, B-Fab taps. Charlotte refuses to break. Tiffany Stratton comes running out. Attacks Charlotte Flair. Security tries to separate the two. And this went on for a while. They worked their way. They worked their way outside. And Tiffany hits a flip dive off the ring post onto Charlotte in security. Excuse me about that. Tiffany and Charlotte are separated, and the segment ends. Or so we think. There's a video of Drew McIntyre talking about all the times he's gotten screwed by Damian Priest. He's going to put Damian Priest down for good, so he can never take anything away from McIntyre again. Miz TV time with Cody Rhodes. Come back from commercial. Tiffany and Charlotte come out brawling again, right by the entrance, right in front of the big Titantron. Tiffany hit a swanton off the top of the Titantron onto Charlotte and the mass bodies of security. Tiffany screams, "There's a new queen." And that was pretty fun. That was a good brawl. Both women did excellent. Heating up, obviously, for WrestleMania. Miz TV. Not much to it. Kind of funny. Miz says Cody got beat up by 2 great rappers, Travis Scott and John Cena. Remember, John Cena's a bad, bad man. Remember that video? The 18 parody? MTV wouldn't play it. Vince tried to get a petition going because it was too controversial or something for MTV, when really they just didn't want to play it. Cody attacks Miz. Couple of crossroads. Miz is down. Cody says he doesn't want to talk to the Miz. He only wants to talk and hear from John Cena. And when Cena shows up in Brussels for Monday Night Raw, Cody will be there. So obviously making a big deal out of Cody and John Cena. Finally, John Cena will have something to say. And I hope it's good. Nick Aldis tells Nakamura he's not suspended, but he should be. And Shinsuke wants a rematch. And Priest comes by. He's looking for McIntyre. Said McIntyre left the building, which you know what that means. Nakamura is being snarky to Priest, which sets up a match next with Priest and Nakamura. But first, they set up a video for Rey Fenix. And Fenix, they don't really show him yet, but it's definitely Rey Fenix. And, you know, with Rey Mysterio, I wonder if he'll be Rey Fenix because Triple H isn't as picky about names, or if he'll just be Fenix or something else altogether. Oh, we'll see. Either way, you know, I hope they both do well. All right, we'll finish up SmackDown, talk about the New Japan Cup, Stardom, and more. Also TNA Sacrifice, too. Stand by. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
Clear.
All righty. Fun.
Special alert for consumers
All right.
struggling to pay taxes.
All right.
There are new tax regulations.
What is
published
next?
yet. We have the inside track on your new tax savings. These programs are designed to help struggling taxpayers like you. The COVID relief programs are gone, but there are new programs to help struggling taxpayers, and we have the inside track. Call now and we'll take you through these new programs. These taxpayer savings programs have never been available until now. Get out of tax trouble now. It doesn't take weeks. It can happen in one phone call. Call now and get the inside track to get rid of your tax problems.
Call the tax helpline now. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. That's 800-949-0039. Do you need to sell your home? If you've sold a home before, you remember how stressful and expensive it was. Sold.com is here to help you sell your home for the most money and with the least amount of stress. There are new ways to sell your home that you've never heard of before. Did you know there are companies who offer you cash for your home? Did you know you could trade in your home for a new one? Did you know there are realtors who will sell your home for a flat fee instead of an expensive commission? It's true. Sold.com services are free. So if you're looking to sell, make this free phone call right now and learn how your next home sale can be faster and easier than you ever thought possible. Pick up your cell phone and call right now. 800-251-7816.
Oh, you're right. You're right, I forgot.
800-251-7816.
You're right.
That's 800-251-7816.
You're right, I forgot about that.
7816.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar.
Thank you for that.
It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce.
Thank you, Dragon John. You're right.
Originally minted in 1986.
I forgot.
These coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have
I don't think it'd do that.
invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire.
I'm not sure if that.
With one coin costing around.
I guess it would depend how the trademark is written.
A few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money.
It wouldn't surprise me if they have different spellings, but
One you
I don't
can
know.
be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle
right.
dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
It's Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live. In the chat, Dragon John mentions the AAA owns the name Phoenix. I forgot about that. Thank you, Dragon John. Yeah. And depending on how the copyright is, they probably couldn't spell it Phoenix, like the city or the bird. But I mean, it's possible, but I think that'd be a pretty sloppy copyright because usually they cover things like that. But someone mentions how Taz went from 1Z to 2. But I don't know. We shall wait and see what happens with Ray Phoenix. Maybe he'll get a totally different name. I mean, Penta still uses Penta, but he's not Pentagon. But again, I don't know how the copyright is written. So I think that would depend on a lot of it as far as that goes. But we shall see. Continue on SmackDown. Nakamura versus Damian Priest. Nakamura out in his samurai-inspired gear. Priest is about to go for South of Heaven when McIntyre just appears at ringside. What? But he's supposed to be out of the building. Can't believe wrestling lies to me like that. My world is shattered. McIntyre cost Priest the match when he interferes. Priest and McIntyre. Drew goes to Damian Priest's eyes. He rakes him. Actually kind of sticks his thumbs in him. Then Nakamura hits the Kinshasa on Priest, leaves him laying, and walks away. Then Drew mounts on top of a down Priest, just starts raining down punches, then stands up and some kicks, throws Priest outside. McIntyre drops the steel steps onto Priest. Damian climbs up the ropes very weakly, and then Drew comes back, hits the Claymore on a dazed and weakened Priest. One last stomp to Priest's head, and McIntyre cockily saunters out of the ringside area. Backstage, Kathy Kelly with DIY. Tommaso Ciampa calls the SmackDown Tag Team division the best in professional wrestling. He said professional wrestling. Motor City Machine Guns confront DIY. There's unfinished business between the two teams. Again, backstage, Chelsea Green with Piper Niven and Alba Fire. And Green, or I should say Niven, and Fire are dressed like Secret Service agents in black suits, ties, sunglasses. Green says the great administration is now in full force. So they are Secret Service for Chelsea Green. Zelina Vega walks up. She wants the title. Piper Niven steps in between the two. Not so fast. You've got to go through them to get to Chelsea. So next week, Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven. They show members of FC Barcelona at ringside. Then it's Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes. They set up a springboard off the ropes by Mello. Orton turned it into a power slam. I was expecting, some RKO out of nowhere, but we didn't. We didn't quite get that. Hayes had a few highlights. Carmelo went to the top. Superplex by Randy Orton. Short sequence, then an RKO. They gave Mello some hope spots. He didn't get buried, but this was a Randy Orton spotlight match. Randy helped Mello up, held out his hand to shake it. Mello shoved Randy, got another RKO for his troubles. Kevin Owens pulled Hayes out of the ring before he could be punted by Orton. Brief brawl between KO and Orton. Then KO bails out into the fans. Gunther in the ring runs down Jey Uso. He has no substance. And other things talking about the match at WrestleMania. Gunther challenged Axiom from Spain, calling him his former name, A-Kid, at first, which that was kind of surprising. Then they referred to him as Axiom the rest of the night. Kind of similar to Orton versus Carmelo. Pretty much a spotlight match for for Gunther, but with a few hope spots for Axiom. Crowd really behind Axiom, who even got to kick out of the Gunther powerbomb. Not many people have done that. Axiom turned a powerbomb off the top rope into Hurricane Rana. Gunther kicked out of the golden ratio. Finally, Gunther gets the pin with a second powerbomb. Then he locks the rear naked choke on the Axiom after the match before he released it. They did a recap of the cage match from Raw and the return of Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman came to the ringside, promoted the release of the 2K25 video game. Have I missed out on something? Don't they usually release the game around Christmas or September? Like, shouldn't have the 25 game been out already? Because we're in 25. Don't they usually do like the 26 game in September? Those days. So I'm very confused. I guess I missed some video game news somewhere. Anyway, it's Roman Reigns Day. It's never CM Punk Day. And it will never be Seth Rollins Day. Oh, he hates Seth's song, as the crowd kind of chants along with Seth's song. Then he announces Roman Reigns will be at SmackDown next Friday. Not coincidentally, so will CM Punk. Gunther, talking to Jimmy Uso backstage, tells Jimmy he's going to hurt his brother. Can Jimmy tell Jay to drop out of WrestleMania so he doesn't have to hurt him? Jimmy says, Gunther's got it backwards, Uso. And there you go. Street Profits win the WWE Tag Team titles from DIY. Honestly, not as good as it could have been. But again, look, I travel. Yeah, I know the 2K25 was released yesterday, but usually it's released in September of the year before, but that's what I'm saying. It's kind of strange. He's talking to someone in the chat. But anyway, Street Profits, they were going to do the stand and deliver, but Gargano was on Dawkins' shoulders forever. He was first fell back and he's like back to back on his shoulders. Then he stood up and they hit him again. Dawkins drives Gargano down, forward off the top rope for the pin. It was very much a by the numbers show, but look, crowd loved it and they made everything seem hot and exciting. And I think everything on this European tour is going to be like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun for the next couple of weeks. Next week, as I mentioned, Roman Reigns going to appear. CM Punk's going to appear. Braun versus Jacob Fatu. Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven. And Jane Cargill versus Liv Morgan. Lillian Garcia announced that she has finished up as a full-time ring announcer. Staying with the company, going to do Saturday night's main events, singing on special occasions. And she's working on other show ideas with WWE. TNA Sacrifice from El Paso, Texas. The main event, 10-man tag team, steel cage. Saw Nick Nemeth, Matt Hardy, Joe Hendry, Elijah, and Leon Slater defeat The System, JDC, Brian Myers, and Eddie Edwards, along with the Colognes. Now after the match, show is seemingly wrapping up when all of a sudden Nemeth turned on Matt Hardy and attacked him. Then Nemeth's brother Ryan, the lawsuit guy, coming into the ring, they closed the cage, preventing the rest of the team from making the save. Two brothers attacked Matt, bloodying him to close out the show. Cora Jade did wrestle. She lost to Masa Slamovich in a TNA Knockouts title match. Chikara Jackson and Lash Legend, also of NXT, made a surprise appearance following the Knockouts tag team title match after Ash and Heather by Excellence, with help from George Iceman in a 3-on-2 match, won the titles from Spitfire, Danny Luna, and Jody Threat. And the Meta Girls made their entrance on stage, staring down the new champions. Moose defeated Jeff Hardy in a ladder match to retain the X Division Championship thanks to interference from Alicia Edwards and her kendo stick. Lots and lots of interference on this show. Mustafa Ali beat Mike Santana with a roll up while holding the ropes. They'll have a rematch this week on Impact. And the Great Hands, who, surprise, interfered in this match, will be barred from ringside. Steve Macklin beat Frankie Kazarian with the KIA. Kazarian was going to use brass knuckles, but Eric Young, who was on commentary, stood up and, surprise, he interfered in the match, stopped him from using the brass knuckles, which allowed Macklin to hit his finish for the pin. The Rascals and Ace Austin defeated Wes Lee, Tyson DuPont, and Tyreek Igwe in a Lucha Rules match. Tessa Blanchard beat Lei Ying Lee, and Mance Warner defeated Sami Callihan in an impromptu street fight to open up the show. And then in the pre-show, First Class, AJ Francis, Casey Navarro defeated the Aztec Warriors, Laredo Kid, and Octagon Jr. on the pre-show. New Japan Cup, Stardom, and more. Talk about it next. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free...
Oh, goodness gracious. Alrighty.
For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer. 800-773-5113. 800-773-5112.
Anybody else have this? No. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm a little tired today. I apologize.
Virus protection offer. Protect your computer from crashing and online.
Mel, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here.
In national research,
we love you.
All computers are infected with some sort of computer malware.
Yeah, 3,000 plus at El Paso. That's great.
Online fraud. Protect yourself now with My Computer Works. We're an 18-year-old U.S.-based company with a 4.8 Google rating. We've helped your neighbors protect their computers for almost 20 years. And now you too can be protected for less than $1 a day. Get your total PC home support right now. Call our U.S.-based specialist right now and learn about our free offer. And remember, if we can't help you, our services cost you nothing. So call right now.
800-352-7618. 800-352-7618. 800-352-7618. That's 800-352-7618.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? Quick Cash Offer can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents.
21st Samurai should have got 5 stars. It's brilliant.
You don't need to lose your home to foreclosure. If you have
hopefully we can talk about that.
Home, we will buy
I got so much to do.
Cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call Quick Cash Offer now before the economy gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just don't want to get the cash you need today.
800-788-1495. 800-788-1495. 800-788-1495. That's 800-788-1495.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
It's Jim Valley. It's Wrestling Observer Live. I can't find it. It's looking for the person in the chat who is cracking on me because I talked about Evil could win New Japan Cup and he's out. I didn't even think, you guys just put me on the spot and I just thought about it briefly, but no, I was wrong. New Japan Cup quarterfinals from Nagoya. Shingo Takagi defeated Drilla Maloney, Burning Dragon. Shota Umino defeated Jeff Cobb with a second chapter. Crowd loved Umino. Was into this match. Is Jeff Cobb leaving? We shall see. David Finlay pinned Yuya Uemura with the overkill. Another good match. And after the match, Sonata briskly walked past Finlay, just ignoring him, and attacked Uemura before leaving. Puzzled, Gedo and Finlay watched and just made their way to the back. Now in a match of former tag team partners, the once dangerous Techers, very emotional match. Zack Sabre Jr. pinned Taichi with the Gedo clutch and pin. And Sabre and Taichi hugged. Taichi bowed to the crowd. Again, two really emotional matches to end the show. Because you had Hiroki Goto defeating 56-year-old Yuji Nagata. 56. Man, that's old. Unlike me, who's 55 and a half. 56, that's old. I'm very young and spry. 55 and a half. Anyway, Hiroki Goto retained the IWGP title again. Very emotional match. Crowd at times believed, got way behind Nagata. But anyway, Hiroki Goto pinned Nagata with the GTR. Not a long match, but a good and emotional match. House of Torture defeated the Bullet Club War Dogs. Actually, they did. That ended in a draw. Sorry, that was a draw. United Empire defeated El Fantasmo, Tanahashi, Oleg Boltin, and Toriano. Ishii and Yoshihashi defeated TMDK of Hartley Jackson and Oiwa. And, okay, so then we've got, coming up, what do we got? Semifinals, Sunday in Shizuoka. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Finlay. Shota Umino versus Shingo Takagi. Monday in Fukushima. And the finals take place on Thursday in Niigata. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kojima, also scheduled for the show. So there you go. Also, someone mentioned TJP pinned ELP. So looking for a future TV title match too. So crazy. Anyway, overnight, Stardom crowned its 2025 winner of the Cinderella tournament. Sayaki Kurara beat Rina in the finals. Kurara, she put on the dress, tiara, and earrings. And Kurara doesn't really play up her looks or sexuality, but she looked good in the dress, I gotta say. And as customary with the winner of the Cinderella tournament, she gets a wish, but she hasn't said what that wish is. There have been some hints that possibly there might be a wish related to Tam Nakano. But we shall see. Also on the card, Starlight Kid retained her Wonder of Stardom Championship, beating Konami. And then also on the card, Thekla defeated Mina Shirakawa. No surprise. I mean, Mina's pretty much just an attraction for Stardom. AEW Collision tonight. International title eliminator tournament continues. Shibata versus Ricochet. Also, Mark Briscoe versus Mark Davis, and FTR versus the Undisputed Kingdom, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Megan Bayne, also tonight, takes on Thunder Rosa. Now, speaking of Megan Bayne, on Wrestling Observer Radio, both Dave and Brian agreed that Megan Bayne is a step down for Toni Storm. Now, granted, when you come off an amazing feud that I was right about, by the way, that I called months ago. I mean, look, that's hard not to step down. You don't always have the chemistry that Mariah May and Toni Storm has. You don't always have the skill that both women have. So, I mean, in that sense, well, anything is going to be a step down. But, look, Megan Bayne looks like a star. They agree with that. But they talk about her facial expressions, talk about how she hasn't cut a promo yet. And look, again, if you've seen Megan in Stardom, other places, she can't talk. But right now, I don't know that she needs to. And look, I expect if they have a match at Revolution, or Dynasty rather, Megan Bayne will lose to Toni Storm. But that's sort of that, you know, Japanese booking that AEW does. You lose at your first title opportunity. That's just what happens. You don't win, you lose. And then you eventually come back and win the title. We've seen this many times. And losing to Toni Storm is not a big deal. I do agree with Dragon John saying it's not a step down, but it's too soon to have a match for Megan. I would agree with that. But clearly they have plans for Megan Bayne. Yeah, someone says, I agree with Jim on Bayne. She won't need the win right now. She just needs to show her stuff for now. Exactly. Oh, so it says, Megan Bayne is a ripoff of Beth Phoenix, the Glamazon. Harley Cameron will be the next women's champion. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Harley Cameron these days. I mean, Harley Graham is funny, and hologram is protected. I understand that. So, but Harley Cameron is a star, and they have lightning in a bottle with her. And it's like she did nothing in that match other than a hip swivel. And boy, she is really leaned up. I did notice that. But I mean, that was Vince McMahon stuff. They shouldn't have done that. But I don't know. I mean, it's possible Megan Bayne can lose to Toni Storm. And then I still think she's the one to beat Mercedes Moné. So then you have the TBS champion, but she's not as good as your world champion, as your signature star, Toni Storm. At least not yet. But she'll get there. She'll get there. Yeah, someone says, Harley Cameron's so hot right now. The Harley Graham gimmick is beneath her. Yeah, it's like if she was going to do it, she should have come out ahead of Hologram or with. It's like she was behind him. I didn't even understand because of the noise of the crowd. It was hard to pick up. Justin Roberts was saying Harley Graham versus hologram. When you say them back to back with the ambient noise in the background, I found it confusing. But no, Megan Bain she can talk. She's not terrible. But yeah, it's like Wholehearted Cameron thing is organic. It runs on its own vibes. She doesn't need a title. She'll get a title at some point. But she just needs to do what she does. Segment like Piper's Pit. Possibly. The problem is she's a baby face now. You know, it's hard to do those things when you're a baby face. By the way, I was happy for Speedball Mike Bailey. And also, these people. You had 3 5-star matches in a row. You had an incredible show. And granted, look, I agree. Cope and Moxley ending was a downer. And I get they tried to minimize it by having the heel Christian lose and then have Swerve attack Mox and give him the double stomp off the bleachers. I get what they were trying to do. And look, I understand that both Mox and Cope have a lot of mileage on them. And they shouldn't be jumping off of cages, especially Mox or Cope and all those things. But it's like, those guys are really smart. And they should have been where they don't need to be dangerous. They should have been more creative instead of just a very, very standard match. But regardless of the ending, that show was incredible. Incredible. Someone says either Ospreay, Swerve, or Hangman. Yeah, exactly. I would say Ospreay. And I hope they don't wait a year to go back to Wembley for Ospreay to win the title. I think he needs to be the guy. Yeah, I thought Speedball looked great. I love that Speedball looks like a little Elegante. He's got the headband and the shoulder things like Elegante and the mullet like Elegante from WCW. He's like a little mini. He wrestles much better than Elegante and talks. But yeah, Revolution was an awesome show despite of the main event. And those people that are complaining, it's like, yeah, that wasn't the best, but oh my God, everything else was incredible. I'm just like, I don't know. I just thought that was impressive. I mean, an incredible show. One of the greatest shows ever. Yeah, the main event was fine, but compared to everything else, it's going to look really bad in context. And people are like, oh, they're running it back already. I mean, only 40,000 people watch that show. I mean, that's a big pay-per-view number, but it's still a headliner. I mean, Cope is still a name. Mox is still a name. And we'll see what happens, see what it sets up. Stand by. We'll talk about Defy. They got a new world champion they're going to crown tonight. Stand by. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
Pull up to the scene with my cylinder. Pull up to the scene with my cylinder. Middle finger up to my competition.
Alrighty. There we go. I don't know if it was a cluster. Just was, I don't know. It's like, how many clotheslines do you need? You know what I'm saying?
We have the inside track on your new tax savings. These programs are designed
still
to
an
help
amazing
struggling taxpayers like you.
Still
the
an
COVID
amazing
relief programs are gone.
Hey, I'm glad to have new people in the chat. I'm thinking about doing something with the chat to get your opinion on things. Yeah, it was bad.
These taxpayer savings programs have never been available until now. Get out of tax trouble now. It doesn't take weeks.
Yeah.
It can happen in one phone call. Call now.
Yeah, it was like, I thought the Outrunners were going to be tag team champions, and now Not so sure. I mean, crowd still loves him, and that's great. But I think, yeah, we've seen the ceiling. See, anything can happen.
Do you need to sell your home? If
Anything
you sold
can
a home before, you remember how stressful and expensive it was. Sold.com is here to help you sell your home for the most money and with the least amount of stress. There are new ways to sell your home that you've never heard of before. Did you know there are companies who will offer you cash for your home? Did you know you could trade in your home for a new one? Did you know there are realtors who will sell your home for a flat fee instead of an expensive?
Yeah, I've got an idea for a gimmick for the chat to play off the chat.
So if you're looking to sell,
So I've got an idea. We'll see what happens.
right now and learn how
We'll take surveys from people. We'll get your opinion on something. And I've got a name for it. I just need to put some parts together. So stand by. I'm going to do something fun with the chat. Hopefully soon. Oh, I'm not here next week, by the way. I got to go to a funeral.
7816. That's 800-251.
Yeah, NXT did have the best episode. You're right.
You're listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
It's Jim Valley. It's Wrestling Observer Live. I will not be here next week. I've got to go to a funeral for a very kind and sweet, sensitive, intelligent man. World is a lesser place without him in it. Tonight in Seattle, Defy crown a new heavyweight champion in the Super 8-time GP. Do you recall Ricky Saints, then Ricky Starks, last month won the Defy World Championship, only to vacate it because he showed up days later on NXT, which of course he didn't know about. Of course. Didn't know. Anyway, in the first round, it's a four-way match. Clark Connors versus Marcus Mathers versus LeBron Kozo versus Titus Alexander. If I were to guess, Clark Connors is local. He's from Snohomish. He's in New Japan. He made some appearances in AEW. Maybe he's going to be in the States more often. I could see him. Titus Alexander, been in Defy a long time, making strides in Noah. I could see him doing something. And then in the second match, Evan Rivers versus Bishop Khan versus Starboy Charlie versus Jordan Oasis. A lot of people picking Jordan Oasis. If I were to guess who walks out with the title, I would say Jordan, Titus, or Clark Connors. Those are my guesses. You know, again, because Clark Connors is in New Japan, he can carry the title in New Japan. It's exposure there. Titus Alexander could carry the title to Noah. Again, exposure there. So we shall see what happens tonight with in Defy as they crown a new heavyweight champion, the Super 8-time GP, or maybe the Super X GP. Anyway. All right. Hey, be grateful. We've got a ton of great wrestling, ton of great shows. Someone mentioned in the chat, NXT at its best show ever. Sold out show for TNA Sacrifice. So, I mean, geez, a lot of great stuff happening. Enjoy it. I'm not here next week. I'll see you the week after. It's Jim Valley, back in 2 weeks because of the fans. There we go. All right, man. Thank you so much. All right, man. Take care. Bye. All right, man. Sounds good. Bye. There we go. All right. What are we doing? Hang on. Where am I? 1 second. There it is. All right. Kill that. Kill that. All right, kids. There's that. All right. There we go. All right. All right. No, I appreciate you guys have great stuff. Great stuff. You doubt Clark Connors. Yeah. I don't know. Clark Connors is local. That's why That's why I think Clark Connors has got a shot. He's from over here on the east side he's local. So I wouldn't be surprised. Same thing with Titus Alexander. He's known to the crowd, tall, good-looking guy. He was on Ring of Honor and either Collision or Dynamite this week. He did jobs, but he's a tall, good-looking kid, second generation, nice kid. Again, good body, good look, smart kid, nice kid. So, right, Marcus Mathers, same thing, yeah. Yeah, Clark is from Snohomish. He is a 425er, yeah. I think he says, does he say Bellevue? Which is close enough, it's just outside. But yeah, so he's from just not very far from me. Not very far. Yeah, Speedball and Ricochet, definitely a dream match. So yeah, he's local. Yeah, he is a Buddy Wayne guy. So yeah, he'll be that's why I'm thinking about Clark Connors. But we shall see what they do. I mean, Matt has always got something up his sleeve. Always. So we shall see. Sometimes I feel sorry for Matt Farmer. He's a very nice man, and I mean, dealing with the wrestlers and stuff, what a pain in the butt sometimes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So anyway, yeah. Well, I think we did a show, kids. All right. Well, look, I apologize, but I am tired. So I'm going to wrap it up and go and take a nap. But I love you guys. And I will talk to you in 2 weeks. 2 and 2. Chuck Norris. His Chuck Willery used to say. But anyway. All right, kids. I really appreciate it. It was an okay show this week. It was just recaps. I hate when it's so much recapping. I hate it. I want to talk about stuff. I want to talk about issues or things, stuff I like. That's what I like to talk about. I like to give you my thoughts, but it's all just recaps because it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. That's why I get this show. Like 4 shows to recap. 2 to preview. It's ridiculous. Sorry. Dry mouth. Yeah. And now it's like, that's why I skipped some matches. Because I just don't have the time. I want to do everything. So anyway, I love you guys. You're the best. Mel, take care. But I appreciate all you guys here. I will see you later. All right, man.